Hey guys, it's Jennifer. Today is July 3rd, 2014. The revision is done. This is the face of somebody who is so tired from surgery that I don't care about anything at all. I am really, really tired. I don't know why, but I'm not really able to sleep. On Tuesday alone, I had morphine, I had Percocet, I had Norco, I had Tylenol PM, and I had Benadryl. And I got, at most, 2 hours sleep. So, I don't know what it's going to take to get me some sleep, but I'm exhausted. So, I took a shower when I got home yesterday, and I'm just too exhausted to do anything else. So let me talk about the revision, only because in the episode of Fat Kings Friday, I guess you can call it Fat Kings Friday, I just call it Fat Kings, but whatever. And I'll put their link in my video. But they mentioned me and my revision a little bit, and I figured, and then I found out through my email that they had subscribed to me, so I figured I better make a revision video quickly so people kind of know what happened. Okay, so here's the whole story. I had the revision because I had gastric bypass on March 5th, 2012. My highest weight was 323. I got down to about 212, and I was okay with it, and I didn't really have the health issues that I had anymore, but my issues with food were completely out of control. I never really changed my eating habits. Fireworks, anyway. I never really changed my eating habits, and so I didn't have a very good relationship with food. And earlier this year, probably in like January, February, out of nowhere, I just started gaining, I gained like 15 pounds in 3 months, and it completely freaked me out because I hadn't changed anything. What had changed, though, is that I was 2 years out, and your body changes how it reacts to surgery, obviously. And it really freaked me out. And so I knew I had to kind of take a bilateral approach, so I decided I'm going to have the restrictive, revision done, and I'm going to see a food addiction specialist or an eating disorder specialist. So that's what I've done. The therapy has gone pretty well. Originally, I was going to have the lap band revision, but when they did the endoscope, they found out that my stomach was still very small. It was still the same size as it was when I had my original surgery. The issue was that my stoma, which they told me it was called the stoma, I guess other people have different names for it, but the part that goes from my stomach to my intestines had stretched out 2.5 times bigger than it should have been. So that meant I really didn't have any restriction at all. Which made a lot of sense, but it was kind of my fault, because when you're able to eat a lot of food and you've had a weight issue your whole life, even when you're not binging, you're still eating fast and you're still eating a lot of food. At least I was. So that's why I had the revision. I ended up having the gastric bypass revision, which is where they were just going to make the stoma smaller. But I went in for surgery on Monday. I was scheduled for 10 a.m. They did not perform the surgery till 5 o'clock that evening. No reason at all. My surgeon was just taking his time, I guess, which is good because you don't want him to rush. He came in and he was very clear that he was not going to do the surgery for no reason, that he was going to be extremely restrictive, that he was not only going to make the stoma smaller and tighter, but he was going to make my stomach even smaller, even though it was already the right size it was supposed to be. So he basically said, I'm going in here aggressively, I'm doing this aggressively. Do not be surprised if in 3 months you're back in my office with a stricture and need me to enlarge the area again, because I'm going in there and I'm making things almost unbearable for you. Can't really argue with it, because when you want a restriction and you know your surgeon knows your history, you kind of just have to trust that they know what they're doing. And I love my surgeon, so I trusted him. And good Lord, that man was not joking. That man was not joking. I have super restriction now. I woke up from surgery, and surgery was only supposed to be a 30-minute procedure. It ended up being 90 minutes. I had a lot of scar tissue, I guess, and so they had to work through all that and clean all that up and then perform the actual surgery. And I was his last surgery, so thankfully he really took his time and did what he had to do right. I'm just noticing, my nightgown, I just want to say this just because I can and I want to. I wore this. This was my nightgown when I was 323 pounds. And it is, super huge on me. But that's good because it's like a hospital gown. It's like so freaking big. It's like massively big. Even with my huge ass, it's still massively big. So, but it's come in handy because when you come home from the hospital and you got the drainage tube and everything, you don't want anything restrictive. So at any rate, so I was at the last surgery and I'm kind of glad because he took his time. What else? So I woke up. I did not have any pain from surgery. My pain level, every time they asked me on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level? I'd always say like a 3 or 4. It wasn't that bad at all. The gas pain in my shoulder, my left shoulder, was horrendous. Like, that was what made me cry. That pain right there made me cry. I didn't have gas pains anywhere else but my left shoulder, and it was horrendous. I can't even put it in words. I had a morphine pain pump, but I didn't use it very much. I was eager to get up and walk around. I just wanted to walk around. I wanted to do everything they told me to do. I ate a lot of ice chips, even though they told me, slow down on the ice chips. You don't know if your stomach's okay. My nurse, I didn't like my nurse. They would not give me my bipolar medication that night, which really pissed me off because it wasn't going to make a big difference that night, but if I go one night without it, or if I go one night without it, it affects my mood later. I don't become manic, I just get really depressed, and I don't want to be really depressed, and I know it has that effect. So, fortunately, today's Thursday, it hasn't really hit me. I'm sad tonight, and I did something bad with food tonight, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So, boy, I gotta hurry up with this video. So anyway, so I woke up, was fine, was doing the walk-in, doing all the stuff they're telling me to do. Tuesday came, I didn't really sleep. They offered me Benadryl, I took the Benadryl, and that put me to sleep for about an hour. I didn't stay asleep, and I haven't slept more than an hour at a time since I've been home, which is why my eyes look so dark, and I took a shower when I got home yesterday, but I just am so tired. I have chewable vitamins because I tried to take 2 pills. I tried to take 2 Narco at once just to help me sleep, even though I didn't have a lot of pain, but I wanted to sleep. And taking 2 Narco pills at a time, which aren't that big, got stuck, and I ended up throwing up foam and acid, and it's gross. I'm sorry, I probably should have done the TMI, but I threw up like 6 times in a row that way. So I realized I can't take pills as easily as I could before. So I went and bought the Flintstone vitamins, and I'm popping those 4 times, 4 pills a day, just so I have some kind of multivitamin. I also have a B12 supplement that I'm taking, and then my bipolar medication. And I have to take something for acid reflux, not because I have acid reflux, but because they want you to after surgery to make sure everything stays down. Let's see. Big differences between the revision surgery and the original gastric bypass is the restriction. With my original bypass, I was gulping water, no problem. I had liquids for maybe 3 days, and then I went to puree for 3 or 4 days, and then I was eating solid food. So my surgeon said he may not have made the stoma big enough. I mean, he may not have made it small enough to begin with. He'll take 20% of the blame. But I didn't have this much restriction in the beginning. I have what appears or feels like to me like super restriction. It's a Slurpee cup. Don't worry, it's tea. I'm not doing Slurpees anymore. Calm down. I filled this up when I got home Tuesday, and you see it's now Thursday, and I can't drink more than this. I'm seriously like sipping, and sipping hurts. Like, I take a drink or even like a small bite of Jello, and it comes down and it gets to like right here, and then it just spreads like pain all the way across. And then it will kind of go back through and then go back down. And I make weird like drain noises now when I eat. Like I needed more noises, right? Like anybody who's had weight loss surgery needs more weird noises. But that's about it. Today I was able to eat a little bit more. I felt like I ate so much yesterday, but it was just because every time I would wake up from one like my hour sleep, I would go and have a sip of protein shake or a sip of water, or I would sit down. It took me all day to eat a Jello cup because I'm eating so slow now. My surgeon did tell me bread is no longer anything I can do. Pasta is no longer anything I can do. He said it most likely will get stuck. He said even eating meat in 3 months time, I probably will get the stricture. Today, I have protein shake. Today I've been able to consume a little bit more. I had a lot of ice chips because I was getting dehydrated really bad. This is all so boring. I don't know why you're still watching. I'm trying to tell you like all the details because it's hard to catch up on stuff. I feel like I ate a lot more today, and I tested boundaries, which my whole thing with this was I want to follow the food rules. I don't want to be a slave to food anymore. I don't want to be controlled by my eating habits anymore. I'm not going to test the boundaries. I know the rules now. I know what happens when you don't follow the rules. I know what happens when you do follow the rules. And this has been so much easier this time around, probably because I did know what to expect. But today, I wanted Cheez-Its so bad yesterday. So today, I ate 2 just to see if I could. And I can, because I chewed them so much that there wasn't really anything to swallow. This video is just laced with sexual innuendos, by the way. The tightening and the swallowing and the, yeah, anyway. Where am I going to go? So yeah, Cheez-Its. Yeah, so I could eat Cheez-Its, and it freaked me out that I did that. I was really immediately started like almost crying that I tested boundaries like that when I told myself I wasn't going to, and I'm trying not to cry now. And then I went in the kitchen and I got in the fridge and I got like a couple slices of shredded cheese, just like a pinch, because I needed to eat food. Like I need to eat food, and it's killing like all this pudding and Jello and broth. I want food so bad. Other than that though, I haven't really noticed anything. I'm not really in a lot of pain. I finally had the drain taken out today, which thank God, because I hated that freaking thing. But I have my 2-week appointment in like 3 weeks, actually, because I have a conference for work in a couple weeks. I'm going back to work on Monday because I only work, well, one of my jobs, I only work part-time, 4 hours a day, and it's a desk job. And then real estate I can kind of do on my own schedule. And I go back to watching my niece 50 hours, 60 hours a week next week. So I had her for a couple hours today, and I was exhausted. I don't know how I'm going to do next week, returning to my schedule, but so that's that. Sorry this video is so long. I will say that I'm happy that I did the revision surgery. I wasn't sure that I was going to go through with it, and I'm glad that I did. It's intense. It's not as much pain. It's a lot easier to do the food stuff afterwards because you know what to expect. And I have made up my mind on certain foods I'm just not even going to test myself on because I know how I am. But now my issue is trying to think what I can eat realistically that I can maintain long term, because I don't want to be like super restrictive and then like 6 months out I start eating junk and I start gaining weight again. I want to implement certain amounts of moderation of bad foods into my diet so that I feel like I'm not so restricted that I totally go off the totally like go off the plan. I need to find something that works for me long term. And if that means I get to eat popcorn, or I get to eat dark chocolate, or I get to eat, a piece of cake on birthdays, then that's what I'm going to do. I am going to follow the rules to the best of my ability, but I'm going to follow the rules according to what works for me in an everyday life setting. So that's my big thing now, which is why I'm so upset that I tested the limits today, because I don't want to test boundaries. I've done that for 2 years, and I don't want to do it anymore. So I got to figure something out. I don't have it figured out, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't have it figured out, but I will. So anyway, so that's that. I get really lightheaded really fast, and I'm getting really hot and lightheaded right now, so I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the shout-outs on Pet King. Tyrone. I love Tyrone, even though we don't always agree on stuff. I think he's a really genuine guy. Tanya. I just love her. I think she's like the sweetest, most genuine person ever. She has a great personality, great mom, great wife. Just love her. She's done very well. And Phil, if he ever accepts my friend request, like, cool. That'd be nice. I keep requesting. You keep, like, just leaving it there. So, there you go. Phil, accept the friend request. I appreciate everybody else's subscriptions or subscribing to me lately. I've gotten a lot, so I appreciate it. Whew, that's a lot. I will update again on Monday with a weigh-in. I've already lost some weight, but I'm not going to give numbers yet because I'm going to wait till Monday. So that's that. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. I know I went through this really fast and I probably jumbled up a lot of stuff. So if you have questions, please ask me. I don't mind talking about this at all. I'm past the point of shame. I'm just really nervous now because people at school have already sent me emails saying, oh, I hope when I see you again, I see less of you. And people at work know that I had the surgery, and they're very, women should be thin and beautiful kind of people. And when you've been overweight your whole life and you hear all those insults almost every day, or you might not hear from other people every day, but you hear them enough that you start telling yourself them every day, which is what they talked about on Fat Kings tonight. It's just a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to go back to school and go back to work. When my surgeon said if I lose 45 pounds in a year, that's great. Anything more than that is excellent, but he's not expecting more than 45 pounds in a year. So for people to expect me to come back and be like losing weight like crazy is very intimidating, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. But I gotta shut up now. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, holiday weekend. Stay safe. No drinking and driving. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.